Hi Booktube, it's Missy and I'm here with a tag video. I haven't done a tag video in over a year. I never do tag videos because I can never remember to do them. And I don't like doing the same books over and over again or the same books other people have said over and over again. Let's get on with the tag, shall we? I don't know who created this. It's been going around Booktube. A lot of my Booktube friends have done this video already. So I will leave all of the links down below for the creator of this tag and whatnot. Excuse all of the noise outside. I'm not closing my window. It's too hot. Alright, so number 1 in the tag is Best Book You've Read So Far in 2016. This is extremely hard because I've read like 60 books already this year, maybe? Has it been 60? It has. I just checked. I have read exactly 60 books so far this year. Most of them were graphic novels, but we're going to ignore the fact. Alright, so, let me get all the books here. I have like 5 books for this category. I'm sorry, I have a problem. But I have them in different genres, so that's nice. The first one is Nosferatu by Joe Hill. This is my favorite horror novel this year. It was kind of tied with It by Stephen King, but you know, his dad always gets the glory in my eyes, so I'm giving it to the son. Joe Hill's amazing, and this book is epic. I loved it so much. Alright, the second book that was my favorite is Soulless by Gail Carriger. This is the first book in the Parasol Protectorate series. It's an adult urban fantasy. I absolutely love this series to death, and yeah, it's just amazing. I also have Last Sacrifice on this list. This is a YA paranormal by Rochelle Mead. Again, fabulous. And 2 more. I have The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This is an adult mystery. Amazing. Just amazing. And my very last one is Hyperbole and a Half. I can't remember the girl's name. Allie Bosch. I think that's her name. Or Broche? Brosh? Regardless, you'll see the picture here. That is my favorite graphic novel of this year so far. It was great. I loved it. So you can kind of see the range of genres I've read this year so far. Number 2 is Best Sequel of this year, and that is going to be Heartless. This is book 4 in the Parasol Protectorate series. And why am I giving book 4 the best sequel? It's because we learn a lot of new things in this book. There is a lot of growth throughout all of the characters. There's more character development. There's a mechanical monster. There is a baby. There is love just blooming, just love all around. And it's just so wonderful. I really enjoyed this book. I didn't see any flaws as much as I did in the other books. There was not very many times where I was like bored. It was just great. Alright, number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to. And for that book I have A Drop of Night by Stefan Bachman. I received this from my real life BFF for my birthday. I am dying to read this. This was a March release and I still haven't picked it up because I don't have time. I want to read all these books and I just don't have time. But this is about a woman who goes to an archaeological site in Paris, and there is a palace underneath the catacombs or near the catacombs, but regardless there's a palace underneath Paris and they're excavating it, and it sounds so exciting, and I think it's a paranormal or a thriller. I can't remember, but it just sounded interesting and I wanted it and I have it and I need to pick it up ASAP. Alright, number 4 is what's the most anticipated release for the last half of the year. So for the rest of the year, what is the book that I need in my grasp the most. And there are 2 for this one because I couldn't decide. I mean, there's one that's a little bit higher, but they're both amazing. And it is Ghostly Echoes by William Ritter. This is the 3rd book in his series that I wish will last forever. I absolutely love them. The cover is gorgeous. And the next one is Gemina, the sequel to Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I love this sci-fi series. It was the bomb. I thought I wasn't going to like it as much as I did, but then just, you know, the last half of the book, just, it got me, and I loved it. All right, number 5 is Biggest Disappointment of the Year. And there is a tie between 3 separate graphic novels that I read. The first one being A Glance Backward. I didn't write down the author's name because I'm a loser. But I didn't enjoy this book whatsoever. The illustrations were okay, but the ending of the book didn't make any sense, and it was just such a weird story. And I like weird, but it was overly weird and it didn't make any sense. So I gave it 2 stars. The next book is A Good Night's Sleep, or Good Night's Sleep, yeah. This is the novelette that I received from the author, and it was so riddled with grammatical errors, and like sentence structure was flawed, and there was just too many twists for my taste that I also gave this book 2 stars. And it sounded like, the premise sounded amazing, and that's why when the author asked if I wanted it, I said yes, definitely send it to me. But I was so disappointed. And lastly is Blankets. I can't remember the name of the author for this one either. But it's a huge chunker of a graphic novel. It took me like a day and a half to read it or so. It's very religious based, which isn't bad. It's not bad. If that's what you're going for, that's cool. But I didn't get the whole book, and it didn't make any sense to me. And the boy, I don't know what he was going for. Craig Thompson is the author's name. I just didn't like the book. The illustrations were okay, but it was so long, and it just, it was boring. I'm sorry. For all those out there that really like Blankets, I apologize, but we all have different opinions, and I just didn't like it. I also gave that graphic novel 2 stars. All right, number 6, Biggest Surprise. My biggest surprise was The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This cover is what spoke to me because it's about books, but it's kind of like a historical fiction, and although I do like historical fiction, I have to be in the mood to read it. So this sat on my shelf for almost 2 years, and finally Keely over at A Bibliophile's Journey said, hey, do you want a buddy read this? And I was like, yes. And it absolutely was amazing, and I am sad that I sat on it for so long because this is wonderful. It was such a great mystery. I never figured out what was going on, and even at the end I was still surprised, and so it was so good. It was so good. All right. Oh, I also have another book for biggest surprise, and that was Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. This is supposed to be like a super taboo subject about a man who falls in love with a 12-year-old girl, and he woos her and, you know, ends up, you know, falling in love with her, and she's just okay with the relationship. She's not really invested in it, but, you know, it's a pedophile book, and it's a classic, and I thought that I wouldn't like it. And maybe if I read it, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, but I listened to it on audio, and it was narrated by Jeremy Irons, and he is an old man crush that I have. I am so in love with his voice. It's sickening. And when I listened to this, I actually got teary-eyed at some points, and I really, really felt for the guy. What's his name? I can't remember right now. Humbert. I really felt for him, which is disgusting. And so I have such mixed feelings about it because I don't want to be judged as a person who enjoys reading about pedophilia. But at the same time, this is magical and it's poetic and it was just so good. I just loved it. It's so good. If you haven't read it, I would pick it up. It's beautiful. All right, let's see. Number 7 is your favorite new author, and again, Gail Carriger. I want to read everything she has ever written ever in life. She has the best wit, and she makes you want to continue reading her books. Her chapters are fast-paced. Again, her characters are so funny. Her voice is so funny. I just love it. And this month I will be reading the final book in the series, so I'm super excited. All right, number 8 is newest fictional crush. Now, because I did read 5 through 7 in the Vampire Academy series, I want to say Dmitry Belikov again because I love him to death and I want to marry him because he's so hot. He's so hot. But that would be an old crush since, you know, this is an ongoing series. So, with that being said, I would like to marry Connell Macon because he is also very hot. Yes, he can be dumb-witted sometimes because boys, you know, let me just tell you these things, ladies, if you don't know already. People say that women are emotionally distraught a lot of the times and that women have their lives are run by their emotions, but it's not true. I mean, sometimes it is, you know what I mean? But men are very emotional creatures as well. They just try to mask it with their brutality and their roughness and you know what I mean? And Connell does the same thing. He's like, I'm, you know, leader of the werewolves and you are stupid and you bow down to me. But really, he's just a big marshmallow, and that's how most men are. They have this tough exterior, but they're very vulnerable and emotional, but they don't want to show it because then they, you know, look weak. But then they have this really sweet, soft side, and he's romantic, and I freaking love him. That's all I can say. I love him. All right, newest favorite character. Oh, let's just pick up. I should just hold the box set. Alexia Terabody is my favorite character of the entire year, and let me tell you why. When you are looking for strong female characters, you want one that doesn't question herself. You know what I mean? That goes head into it with no questions. Like, in none of these books have I seen, did she do something extremely stupid and it backfired. Not one. She always had someone with her or a backup plan. She's strong, she's well-spoken, she's well-read, she's intelligent, she's inquisitive, she's curious, like all the things, you know what I mean? And she loves to eat. She doesn't care. She has great fashion. I mean, just everything that you would want in a woman. Like, she's just ballsy, and I just love it. And she's funny, and sexy, and smart, and like, just all of the adjectives that are positive for women. I love her. I love her. And she's real. You know what I mean? I don't want to read a character that is fake, and she's just so real. I just love it. I love it. All right, number 10 is a book that made you cry. Now, I have 2 books here. One, I'm pretty sure I cried during Illuminae, and it's between 2 characters that I never thought I would get emotional about, but I really truly felt emotional for this character at the end. Like, I hated this character at the beginning, but at the end I was in love with this character, and I shouldn't have been. And it wasn't even a real relationship, but like this friendship that was blossoming between these 2 people, and I really did. I was getting super teary-eyed towards the end when something was happening, and I can't mention it because it's a spoiler, but oh my god, so good. And the next one is Nosferatu. Now, in Nosferatu, there are like a family. The main character is a mom, and she has to deal with her son being taken by the villain, and then her husband, ex-husband, boyfriend thingy, they haven't, I don't remember if they were actually married. I think it was just like a long-term relationship. But they're kind of on the rocks, but they're getting back together, and just, you know, the whole, like, the ending again, like, it got to me as a mom and a son, you know, having that whole separation anxiety thing, and the mom's, like, freaking out because the son's missing and she doesn't know if he's okay, and she will, like, give her life for this boy. That got me emotional. Anything that has to do with family or kids or animals, I just cry because I'm a sap. All right, the next one is Book That Made You Happy. And I have, again, 2 books for that because I can't help myself. One being Last Sacrifice because, oh my God, this ending is just precious. I just loved it. I loved it because there is a couple that I was, you know, hoping and praying would be together. And I just get excited when I get a happy ending. And this series is amazing. And if you haven't picked up Vampire Academy, I don't know how many times I need to tell you guys. It's absolutely amazing. Pick it up. What are you waiting for? I don't give a shit if you don't like vampires. Just do it. Okay? It's about people. Forget that they're vampires. It's about teenagers coming of age at a boarding school, trying to love the people that they want to love, and having sacrifices that need to be made. It's just heartbreaking. Anyways, and then the next one that I have is Hyperbole and a Half, again by Ali Bosch or Brosh or whatever. God, this cover is funny. So this book is the only book that I think I've read the entire year that I smiled the entire time reading it. Like, if it wasn't for the illustrations, it was for the story that Ali was talking about, the situations, and then again, I told you guys about this when I was reviewing the book, but it's like a woman version of my husband. Like, just the pessimism is rampant, and it was just so stinking funny. I laughed out loud pretty much the entire time. All right, I'm running out of battery. Number 12, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year, and that is Robert Ackman's The Unsettled Dust. I just freaking love this cover. It's to die for. It's to die for. I love it. It's amazing. And there you go. And there's 2 more. Number 13 is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? All of them. All of the books. Every book that I've purchased in the last 2 years, I need to read. Let's move on. And number 14 is favorite book community member, blogger, booktuber, and bookstagram people. So I will leave pictures here, but I have Impression Blend. Mariana has an amazing channel. She does book reviews, and she does movie reviews, and she does TV show reviews, and she's very into horror, which I enjoy, and she's so good at doing reviews. She's amazing. I can't stand it. And then the next one is Books and Bullshit. Richard Denny is hilarious. He keeps it real, folks. He keeps it real. I love watching him. And he likes middle grade. I don't know a lot of people on BookTube that just love middle grade. And I love middle grade, so I love watching his shows. Still have time. Okay. And then, of course, we have The Perks of Books, which is Erica, and she does skits, and I love all of her skits. She's so stinking funny. Check out all these people. I will leave the channel links down below. And the very last person I want to talk about is the Bookstagram, which is 49 books a year. I've been looking at his Instagram pictures for about a year now. They are amazing. They're always different. Each frame is perfect. I will leave his Instagram link down below as well. Thank you so much for watching this tag video. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and thank you. Bye.